Hey everybody, this is Beers with Aging Nerds. Joining us tonight is Ricky, Isaac, and Ryan.
What?
How you guys doing today?
Good, so good.
Just dandy.
So our last podcast was about 3 weeks ago, if we did the math right, so around the 26th, and I think I got posted that weekend even. I don't think I was late this time. So about 3 weeks ago, let's figure out what kind of beer and experiences we had in there. Before we do that, you want to crack open a beer first? Let's not start at that end. That's a 9% IPA. This is a 4% IPA. It would taste like water if we went the other way.
4% IPA. I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah, like it was one of the, like Anchorage Brewing. This is Anchorage Brewing. This is called the Juicy Pounder. I got it off of Taver. It was one of those.
A good name.
Yeah.
Juicy Pounder.
Juicy Pounder.
It was one of those ones. I'm pretty on board of buying almost any Anchorage Brewing that comes out. Because it makes solid stuff, and I bought it just kind of instinctively, and then I started looking through the list, and I was like, "Oh, it's 4% IPA." I was like, "What is that? Is that water? Is that just a sipping
like
sipping beer?"
It's a FPA.
Yeah, it's like I guess it's supposed to be like a session beer IPA, so you could drink it anytime without just being blasted or whatever. But
I like the paint.
yeah, the paint on it is awesome.
I like the look.
It's not bad. It has good hop flavor. I mean, it's not going to get you drunk, but it'll be nice.
It's my type of beer.
I mean, for I don't know how they did that. I don't know how they make a decent tasting. I guess it's just to make it hoppier because it's pretty hoppy. But how do they get the alcohol percentage down?
Yeah, we should really start talking to actual brewers one of these days.
I was gonna say one day we're gonna have to interview someone who actually brews beer, even if it's just a home brewer. Like when we went to I think it's called the Adult Swim down at the Children's Museum. That was like 2 months ago or something. There was a room that was just home brewers, and that's like a person that was doing homemade kombucha and stuff like that. And there was a guy, I forget, he's been home brewing for a while. He had one of the best beers that I've had that night. It was just a Pilsner, and I was like, this is amazing. It was clean and crisp, but it was cool talking to him. So I mean, that'd be a good guy. I should have grabbed his information, but I was already like 5 beers in. Although, I should have grabbed his information. All right, let's start.
If you're watching, email.
Like always, I have a plethora of beers. So I could start and kind of ping pong it back to you guys. So if we go with the most recent, I think it was last night, I had a Eclectic Firestone Walker combo called Cosmic. I think it's called Cosmic Collaboration. I think they do like 1 or 2 of these a year. This was just a hazy double IPA. It was really nice. Great flavor. They actually commented on my picture, and I asked them about what was my favorite hazy IPA last year, which is another collaboration, but I think it was with Modern Times. There was a pineapple hazy IPA. I think it was awesome, but they're not making that again this year. But they have something else in the works that sounded really good. But yeah, it was another solid hazy IPA, super juicy, nice citrus flavor. It was awesome, very enjoyable. I then had Saturday Wander Brewing Golden Calculator. I'm a huge fan of Wander Brewing, and I don't think I've had a bad beer by them yet. I've had a couple beers that are maybe a little iffy. Well, not iffy. That's not the right word. They weren't as powerful as their other ones, so it was kind of like instead of a 4, it was like a 3.9. But this one was like a solid 4.5. So great beer. Isaac, go ahead with you. Anything that stood out for you?
Well, yeah, I mean, I didn't drink a lot of beer over the last break, but I know when I was down at Pine Defiance, I was really trying to get more into like European beers.
Oh, okay.
So we've been having some good like Trapels and Quads recently. So I was like, I'm going to keep that trend going. So I did get a La Trappiste. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. La Trappist Trapel.
Trappiste, I would say.
Yeah, it was.
I mean, it's kind of
badass.
English.
It's straight from
or German.
Holland or Belgium, one of the two. Yeah, no, it was bomb, super bomb. Like I've just been super into the like Belgian style brews lately. They've
Can't go wrong.
been fantastic. No, you really can't. You really can't. They're expensive, but like they're worth the money that you pay.
Yeah, if they're actual German beers or foreign beers, they sometimes can be a little pricey. Like my dad got me this one. We talked about it on the podcast. It was this one with a goat on it, Dominator or something. It was awesome. I think it was the Czech beer. It was like 9%. I was like, okay, Dad, and I was like, oh my God, this is gonna put on my ass. It was good though.
Nice.
Ryan, anything?
Yeah, I've drinking a few here and there. I had a 3 Magnets Anything Gold.
What kind of what is it? What is that? Was that a lager?
It's a Pale Ale.
A pale?
India. A Brut India Pale Ale.
Oh, the Brute IPA. Remember
It was,
experiencing Brute IPA last time?
It was
Yeah.
pretty hoppy.
Nice.
It was good, but hoppy. Very hoppy. And then
that
I
Double
finally
Mountain?
tried my first Fremont beer.
Oh, nice.
And I
What?
went with their Intrepider.
It can't be your first Fremont beer.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, you've had their summer ale at least. Their orange one in orange can. There's no way you haven't had
No.
the Inter-Urban.
No, I haven't. So the next one I had
Wait,
was
which one did you have? I'm sorry, from Fremont.
the Intrepid, something with a train on it.
Inter-Urban.
Run
Yeah.
a train on it.
Yeah, it's got a train, guys. That's all I can say.
I can't believe you haven't. That's the yellow can one, right?
Yeah, with a train.
I can't believe you haven't had their summer session ale or whatever that is. Like that's like one of their most popular, easy to grab ones. And everyone brings that to a party.
Inter-Urban's, I think, number 1, though, isn't it? I think
I
that's
don't
the
doubt it.
numero uno beer. Right
But I mean,
Nice.
it's just either way. I'm shocked that you haven't had any of those.
Yeah, well, I've always seen them just like one day.
you've had.
yeah.
No,
So
you've
you
had,
drive by every day and you're like,
well, because
Yeah.
Seth
No.
just brought stuff over, even like the Lush, and I've had a head full of Dynamites before. You've had a sample one before.
I would have known. I could have, but I was not aware.
Yeah, I think it was one of those ones that it wasn't obvious to you, but I think
Yeah.
you've probably tried something because I drink so
That was
much
the
Fremont.
first one I bought then.
Fair
if
enough.
that's the case. So it was good though. I liked it a lot. I'd definitely buy it again.
I was supposed to say that's mind blowing to me because I've had so much Fremont beer.
And then a little bit ago I got some Deschutes. Their
The Summer Ale?
Twilight Summer Ale.
Nice.
That's pretty good. A little hoppy for a summer ale, but still pretty good. Definitely would buy it again.
Deschutes is kind of known for being a low hoppier, I would say. I like Deschutes, but like some of their
I haven't had a bad one yet
IPAs,
from them.
yeah, they're it's a little punchy. You're just like, whoa, there's some hops in this one, guys.
This is sort of nice.
Yeah.
And then I had a customer at work give me three
yeah.
types. North Coast is the brewing company that he works for. And he gave me Prankster, Old Rasputin, which is a Russian Imperial Stout.
Old Rasputin's awesome.
And then their Red Seal Ale, which was my favorite. And then I don't know what the other one was. It's something Shaw. It's got yellow and blue on it. And it tasted like a better Heineken.
What's Prankster? What kind of beer is that again?
Prankster.
Is that a?
I got
had
the
it.
casing right. Her Belgium style
There.
golden ale.
Okay.
Which was pretty good. I went to it pretty well. It had a good hoppy taste to it.
Yeah.
Which if I would have had any left, I would have brought them down, but they're all gone.
Yeah. No, that's completely okay. I've had all those. Those are ones that you're gonna see at World Market a lot.
Oh, okay.
Like if you go through their beer section, they usually have all those ones. I don't know where North Coast is at. It has to be around here somewhere, I imagine. If he works there.
I don't know. On the packaging, it says out in San Francisco.
See, okay, that makes sense to me because
So
Old
he's
Rasputin.
probably just like the head area rep out here, I imagine.
Okay, gotcha.
But real nice guy.
Yeah.
He's awesome.
That's
So-
cool. The second beer that we're drinking is Reuben's Nordic Haze. I got this when we went. Oh, that was another place I went. Completely forgot about that.
You went to Reuben's?
No, not this time. But Ryan and I went to. We'll talk about that in a second.
Yeah.
And our beer ventures. But
so
yeah,
we've got a Nordic Haze right here.
yeah. This one, they did a run of it, and I couldn't get it. I got a crowler of it, but then this is the first time I had it in can.
That's
That
good.
is smooth.
That is. I like that.
Yeah, that's a solid beer. I think
I could do that all night long.
Reuben's is up there. Man, I think I'm gonna do a mini cast one day where I sit down and talk about my 10 favorite breweries, just because I've been watching in breweries, and just because I've been trying to figure that out. Because every time someone posts something and I'm like, oh, that's one of my favorite breweries, I'm like, I say that literally about like every brewery that comes up.
You have to actually sit down and rank them.
Yeah, I need to go through and kind of think about that. 'Cause-
Reuben's is pretty dank though.
Oh, they're
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
Well, like they just released their Crush Zero, and I wanted to make a trip up there, but it's just bad timing the last couple weekends. But on tap they had their Crush, their Triple Crush. Oh my God, that's still one of the best beers I've had on tap, like maybe ever. I'd say it up there. I'd have to say it's up there in my top 10 for sure, because it was just like, it was nuts. You're just like, the guy I was with was like, try this, and I was like, I tried it. I was like, holy shit. I was like, I could drink all of this. This is so good. But yeah, I'll continue going through my beers. We had an E9 Wild Cherry American Wild Ale, and it's a lot tartar than I usually would drink, but I liked it. It was nice. I still don't think I could do sour. I'm at the point where I can start doing tart though, and those are two different flavors. I'm realizing I still don't like sour, but tart not bad. And then I had McMenamin's Elk Temple Lola. I guess it's not McMenamin's Elk Temple. It was McMenamin's Lola Hazy IPA. It was just at the Elk Temple. I will say, and I noticed this the last time we went to the last McMenamin's Beer Fest. I tried some of the McMenamin's beer, and I actually really like them. I've always been a little soft on McMenamin's. I think their beer's getting better, and at the Beer Fest, they were up there as some of my favorite beers I had that weekend.
Really? Were they the classic beers? Like
no,
the
there's all their new stuff.
Terminator.
Yeah, I just tried their new stuff, and their hazy IPA that I had was actually really good. I was just like, all right, I'm digging McMenamin's all of a sudden.
Huh. Nice. Well, I'm going there in July, so
yeah,
I will be the judge of that.
I'm not positive they're my favorite, but I had like two. I've had 2 or 3 that I was like, all right, I'm digging these. I'm not saying it's gonna be my go-to beer every weekend, but I can see why I can see myself drinking them more often.
Dang. Okay.
Isaac, you have anything else?
Yeah. Okay. So I finally put together like where my last good beer sampling was, and I don't know why, probably because I was drinking heavily, but it was Allison's going away party from when she moved out of the house. Yeah, we just got I just dropped by a Pine Defiance, got a whole bunch of stuff. That's where I had the Trappist, and then I also got Tech Nine.
Tech Nine!
Yeah, Tech Nine. Nina.
The musical artist?
I don't think it's just based. I'm pretty sure it's a collab. Tech Nine,
awesome.
Bulu. Wheat beer with pineapple and coconut added. Tasted a little weird.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say I loved it, but I love the fact that Tech Nine is fucking collabing with Boulevard Brewing for
so amazing.
For a beer. Yeah, I was like, hell yeah, I'm going to get that. I could not get that.
Is he from the area of Kansas or whatever?
Yeah, he's from Kansas.
That's hilarious. That's a smart move, man. That's a smart play. I like that. I like that across the board.
Yeah, man, it made me smile.
He's got some good music.
Yep. He's going, yeah.
I mean, Joe Rogan, he was on Joe Rogan at one point, but then like Joe Rogan had a funny story about him, but I can't think of what it is right now. But yeah, I heard him on there. He seems like a cool dude.
First rapper I saw in concert.
Nice.
Yeah.
I want to see him one day.
That was great.
I'm not sure.
In Bozeman, Montana.
Nice.
Still put on a great show.
All those cowboys there, and it's still a great show.
Yep, I'm not going to say it was packed. I don't think it was.
There were
sure never went back.
30 of us there. Yeah. We loved that.
We
loved
had a damn good time.
Okay, so the last thing on my beer list is I had a couple beers join the Sync crew. And it wasn't. I don't think it was their fault. I think they're older beers, and they sat around for a while, and I just never got around to them. And I was like, "Oh, this is terrible. This is terrible. This is awful." And I dumped 3.5. I said 2.5. I think it was actually 3.5 beers. And one of them, people keep posting about. It's like it has a skeleton fish on it. It's like 420 or something, and I mean, like I said, it sat in my fridge for a while, and I was like, this is horrendous. So that's another reason why I need to kind of slow down on beer trades, which I've been doing. But beer trades make it so I forget what beers are in there sometimes, and they go bad. It's not great.
You just need to get like a labeling dating system.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, I've been trying to kind of rotate forward, but sometimes I'm like, I get a beer, and I'm like, I don't really want to try this one tonight. So I try something else. And then my computer's going to sleep. It just keeps falling back, and back. And then one day I'm like, how long has this beer been here? And I kind of start doing the math on it. I'm like, man, that may have been 6 months ago. I was like, that's not going to be good. It's not going to be good at all, especially for IPA. They're not meant to sit like that. Okay, so those are beers of note. Did you have anybody else have anything else?
Nope.
Let's talk about... I only have one event, so let's talk about breweries. I now could say I went to 3 different, not breweries, but brew pubs at least. So you and I went to Rainier.
Yeah, Rainier Growlers.
Rainier Growlers is awesome. It's a little deep for me to go on a regular basis. It's just another bottle shop. They have a limited but great selection of beer. That's actually where we got the Nordic case. I got the Nordic case from. I think they'll be good. Once again, they don't have a ton of beer coming in, it doesn't seem like, but I think they'll be good for those beers like this. Like this wasn't even, I don't think I saw it anywhere else around us. My normal stomping grounds, but they had it there. Yeah. And they had a bunch of it, and I was like, I should just buy all of it because this is awesome.
I think they keep their fridge pretty well rotated, but like the beers they actually have on tap, like a lot of them, I think they keep.
Oh,
so
yeah.
they don't do too much changing on that front.
Well, they have 30-ish taps. It's a monster. I mean, it's a monster place. It's small. It's in an unassuming area.
If you're gonna get a growler, go there.
Yeah, it's deep in Meridian though. Not too deep. It's up by that Safeway, right? That's basically right across
next
there.
to the theater, Regal Cinema, right up there across the street from
that's
Safeway.
right. Yeah. I forgot there was a theater right there. I was like, no, because Regal's way back. I was like, oh yeah, you're talking about the far Regal.
Yeah,
I forgot that's there.
You're like 10 seconds away, and you're in Graham.
Yeah. You're not too far from a whole nother city.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, they had great beer on tap. They had a decent fridge. They sell singles, and they have, like I said, they had stuff in there I didn't expect to see, which I was pretty excited about. And I jumped on the Norcays, and I think I grabbed 2 or 3 other beers from there also.
Yeah, you grabbed quite a few.
Yeah, I usually grab like a 4-pack. Almost every if I'm at a place to grab stuff, I'll grab a 4-pack.
Yeah.
But yeah, anybody else going to other breweries?
No, that was my only adventure.
As I said, you have the tough game of having kids and not be able to do stuff as much on the weekends.
Yeah.
Which is why every once in a while I'm like, I should try hanging out with Brian on a weeknight.
Hell's yeah. Get them weeknight hangouts in.
Maybe we'll look for something. There's a brewery I've been dying to go to called Acorn, and it's up in. It's not Milton, Edgewood, close to Milton. It's basically like if you
in
like
between.
Yeah, like you know where that like Federal Way hits that like weird spot where it's like Federal Way, Milton, Fife, and like 3 other cities all right there. It's kind of in that
split.
area. Yeah. It's like on the south side, or the east side of Pack Highway, down a ways. Like if we looked up right now, it's 15 minutes away from here. So
Yeah.
that's one of those places I've been dying
It's like
to go.
go
to.
left to Edgewood, go right to 5
Yeah.
area.
But I mean, Amanda and I made a trip out to E9 or Engine House 9, the new opening at the Brew Pub, which is down the road, and we actually went out there. I think it may have been Friday opening. That seems crazy, but it was a Friday or Saturday. Oh, you know what? We actually went out there twice in like 2 days, because we went out there Friday. Because the main reason I wanted to go out there is because they did a collaboration with Holy Mountain Brewing, and I wanted to get that collaboration because it was at Holy Mountain up in Seattle and at this brew pub, which is in Tacoma. I was like, this is gonna be awesome. I'm gonna go grab it. I got there on Friday, and they're like, oh, we're not serving that tomorrow. I was like, damn it, I'm gonna come back again tomorrow if I have time. But we tried a couple beers there. They had a really good milk stout, really good milk stout, and then they had and it's a cool little environment. It's not huge. It's a good size for a brewery. They have a nice little outdoor area, good amount of indoor seating. Like it doesn't look like a lot of indoor seating, but then they open up their, I guess, like the brewing area. They have a couple tables in there. I think I mean it's not huge, but it's gonna be nice. It's pretty close to Blackfleet. If you know where that's at. If you don't know where Blackfleet's at, that's basically down the road from Seven Seas. So they got like 3 breweries with like basically bumping elbows at this point.
On.
Nice.
In Channels 9, we should actually, if we do plan on going to a brewery this week, we should go there because you would like it a lot. You should come out for that because they have a lot of sours and stuff like that.
Ooh, sweet.
Yeah. And then the only other brewery I went to is we end up. So this is very rare that we go out to places that are super busy. We ended up at Elk Temple down in Tacoma. Freaking awesome. That place is like an adult's Candyland. I mean, it just doesn't make any sense. And there's like
Adults Candyland.
Yeah, there's like 30. There's like, I say 30. That's way over. There's like 5 breweries or like restaurant and brewery things in there. There's so many little things, and you can just grab a beer and just kind of do everything. We just walked around and it was like, oh my god, this place is amazing.
Nice.
The wait for the food is crazy long right now because it's still new. But we wandered around everywhere. There's a secret bar. I'm almost positive I know where it's at, or at least I know how to get into it because there's a hidden wall that we found. Well, I found. It was dumb because I was just kind of walking. I was like, oh, interesting. And then I came back with Amanda and I was like, there's something behind that wall. She's like, no, that's the bathroom. I was like, no, the wall. And then it opened up. She was like, oh. I was like, yes, that's what I'm saying. I was like, I think the secret bar is over there. But
so they got a speakeasy thing going on.
Yeah, it's like a weird little speakeasy thing going on. But then there's like a tiki lounge. There's a pool. The pool thing's a mess though. It's too small, and people are walking by. So like I almost got hit by pool cues like 4 times. It's like people are drinking and trying to play pool, and I'm like, oh, come on. They have the huge concert hall thing. I mean, it's awesome. And like if you like McMenamins, the food's great still, but it's just a cool little staple of Tacoma now. I'm really excited to see what happens with it.
Have to check her out.
And Jasmine and I have.
You're gonna do the hotel thing there?
Yeah.
We wandered through the little hotel area. It looks really cool.
Yeah.
How much yours?
Thank you.
Oh, you still have stuff in there.
Yeah, I didn't think I did until I looked.
The only other thing I have for like beer that I've drank and whatnot, we had another history after dark thing at the history museum, and usually they're a ton of fun. This one was okay, and it's because the part of the problem was that the main area of the museum was the same as last time. So it was like we didn't really have anything to do for that part of it, and it was less like event stuff and more talking, and it was interesting, but it wasn't really what we wanted.
It wasn't hands-on. Like
Yeah.
I'm having a beer and I'm learning about dry ice.
Yeah,
that kind of stuff.
it wasn't that, and because of it, it was kind of like this is kind of odd. This is cool, but it's not. I mean, it was cool to hang out with the people. Oh, I'm not. Well, let's talk about this beer real quick. So this is Gigantic Brewing. Gigantic does some really cool stuff. This is one I'm actually a little concerned by because it's barrel aged in gin barrels. It's called.
Wasn't expecting that flavor.
Pipe Wrench. Yeah.
Oh, did you take a sip yet?
Not yet.
I'm not much of
catch
a
up with me.
I was letting the
not
foam
much of
die
a
down a little.
gin guy. I can smell it too.
No, take a swig.
Honestly, I didn't read the description. I just saw it aged. I was like, I'll try this.
I'm shocked to say I don't hate this. I actually kind of like this. It gives that's interesting. So the problem with gin, the reason I don't like gin is because the juniper berries kind of works here with the IPA. It gives
interesting.
I mean, there's a chance it's because I'm a couple drinks in, but I'm actually kind of digging this. I didn't think I would at all. I thought I would hate this. I am mildly surprised. I think juniper berries still have like a soapy taste, so there's a little bit of soapy taste.
That was my first hit. I thought I was just drinking soap.
But it kind of combines well with the hops. I'm not mad at that.
Got a lot of different things going on in my mouth right now.
Oof. I don't know about that one.
I'm shocked to say I'm not mad at that. I don't hate it. I don't hate it.
I don't hate it. I don't love it.
I'm not sure I would go out and buy one. But I would consider it. If I see this in the store, it's not too badly priced, I would consider grabbing that. I don't know why. Like I said, I loathe gin. We went to I can't think what the distillery in Gig Harbor is called. They make the this is embarrassing. I can't think what it's called. And I can't think of the alcohol they make. Yeah, it doesn't matter. But yeah, I tried and I was like, I tried gin like 3 times. And I was like, this is the worst thing I've ever put in my mouth. But Amanda loves gin, so we have a lot of gin.
Nice.
But Heritage Brewing. They make the what's the one with bourbon, the brown sugar bourbon. Oh, there it goes. Thank God, my brain isn't completely gone yet. Okay, I have a couple upcoming events real quick just to run through, but we could talk about that as we go. Let's talk about what's going on in everyone's life. What's going on with you all?
Well, okay, you remember how Fish Brewing closed the doors in Ruston, so right down the road from my work. It was sad.
Yes, rip.
Well, there's a new Korean place
Nice.
called Co-Brew.
Nice.
It's going to be there. It's a Korean gastropub plus brewery where they're going to have their own beers on tap. So
That
I'm super
sounds
curious about
awesome.
how that's all going to go down because I
Yeah.
love Korean food
Who doesn't?
and I love beer.
Yeah.
Boom.
Let's see how that goes together. So that's supposed to actually open up this month. So it'd be
Oh, is that opening that quickly?
yeah.
Is
it's
it actually
opening
in the same place?
End of May. Yeah, it's in the same place.
That's a huge building.
Oh, I know.
I
It's a big risk for anybody who goes there.
Honestly, I kind of thought they'd split that up into like 2 or 3 different restaurants. It's that big. It's big enough to be 2 restaurants at least.
It is.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, but they're going to do the whole brewery. In
Well,
there?
I mean,
Small batch.
I imagine they got whoever moves in gets a huge discount, and then eventually they're like, now you got to pay the Rustin price.
Mm-hmm.
You got to pay that money now. I mean, that's a cool combination. I wonder if they're going to go more of like Korean style beers. I've never had Korean style, but like Japanese style is like really light. I don't know. That'd be interesting.
I feel like the food will make it or break it.
Yeah,
That
I mean,
big of a place.
if they do the right food and it's not too terrible, like because there's not a great place to go down there and grab. I'm gonna say the term tapas, and I know that's not the right term, but like small plate stuff. Mm-hmm. I don't know if there's a great place down there to grab and go, and it needs to be smaller plates and quick.
Yeah,
and I think that's what the biggest thing lacking, because when you go down to watch a movie or whatever, you're like, I got like 30 minutes before a movie, I could grab something small, but if you went to Fishtail, you're never getting food before.
No. Well, I mean, Fishtail would take you 20 minutes just to get seated.
Yeah, you sit down, and they're like, anything you want? I'm like, no, I gotta go. I don't even want this beer now. I was like, can I pay for this beer so I could get the heck out of here? And I think the whiskey burger places probably falls in the same place. They're a little slower, I imagine.
Yeah, they're still a wait though
for the food. Yeah,
you just need a place that you can sit down. Server. And Korean food could be perfect for that. They have a lot of like smaller dish type stuff.
Yeah, they just throw some meat at you. It's like Korean barbecue, you know.
Is it gonna be? It's not a place where you're cooking your own food though.
I don't think so.
I think that's the right move. I think it's a place if they do good small dishes, not terribly too expensive, a little expensive because it's Ruston Way. It has to be a little expensive.
Yeah, it's Korean.
Soju too.
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
Soju, big time.
Definitely gonna have to go to that.
Yeah, that'll be a cool place to go.
Just catch it before a movie.
Hells yeah.
I was gonna say before we started, we talked about some of the breweries in Tacoma. There's a couple new ones coming out at some point. I've been seeing the works done on Sig Brewing. That's gonna be interesting. And then Northish. No, I was gonna say Blackish Brewing. I'm like, that's not right. Northish Brewing is a brewery here that they don't have a tap room, but their beer pops into like beer fest and stuff like that. They have some good stuff. Oh, that's actually interesting. I'm gonna have to look at that. I wonder if they're making it to the.
Not your cup of tea.
I don't hate it. I'm not gonna lie. I don't get it, but I don't hate it.
I feel like I had to shoot that last little bit.
Okay, so this is a California brewer called Mother Earth.
Mother Earth Brew Co.
I've had some. I do want to rinse this out with something. Can you hit some water in there so I don't get? I gotta get that gin out of there though.
You don't want a soapy IPA?
No. But yeah, I've had one Mother Earth beer, and at some point I grabbed them on Taver, not realizing it, and then I saw it at Pint Defiance. I was like, oh, I gotta grab this because I missed it on Taver, and then I went to pick up my stuff from Taver today, and I was like, I got this beer already. So now I have 3 of these beers. So I was like, oh, that'll be perfect for a podcast. When I posted it about it, everyone keeps talking about how good this beer is. So should be our best one of the night. Oh, that's not fair to say because that Rubens is dope.
Yeah.
And this is like a 9% triple IPA or something.
That Juicy Pounder was pretty good too.
Mm-hmm. Oh my God, that's so good. Oh, that'll get you drunk though. That's a boozy IPA. Mm-hmm. Whew, that's good.
Well, that's a nice turn from the last beer.
Yeah, that's good.
Look at the notes that it says it has, and you could taste some of that stuff. I can't taste the rose, whatever, but
it's got some rose blossom tasting notes. That's nice.
Yeah,
wild
they're telling
blueberry, tropical pineapple.
I like that.
That's good.
Let me go run through this list of upcoming events real quick. I'm gonna go really quickly. We have Fort Nisqually is doing the Homestead Happy Hour. We did a couple of those last year. I don't know if we're gonna hit this first one, but there's one on May 31st, June 28th, and July 26th. Tickets are usually like $20 a ticket. And I think that gets you your first drink, but they have a lot of fun activities. Like last year, we got to make our own shingles and mess with a monkey knot and some other. Like we made jewelry, all kinds of weird stuff. This is really cool. Plus, they have like old school blacksmithing. So there's a dude in there actually blacksmithing, and I can watch it all night. Yeah, it's cool. He has like the big old thing, gets a fire going, and just hammers it. Awesome. It's a cool event. It's worth going to at least one of them if you don't make all 3 of them. They're usually on, I believe they're all on Friday evenings, if I'm not mistaken. They're usually Friday evening from like 6 to 9, so you're there till right before it gets dark, and then you're like, all right, I'm going to go home. I think they went to September last year, and I think that's or August, the end of August. And it was already to a point where it was like at 8 o'clock it's starting to get dark, and you're like, maybe I shouldn't be out here right now. So I think that's why they're not doing it that late into the year. But that's cool. Coming up when's May 25th? Is that next Friday? Saturday? It doesn't matter. I'm going to be super busy. But there's a hazy beer competition going on for Tacoma. Tickets are $21. It's at Harmon Brewing. I didn't see what the time frame was. You're going to have, although it can't be Tacoma, it just must be Washington beers. So you have Wingman, Rainy Days, because Rainy Days is out in out by Paulsbo. Pacific, the Ram, McMinimans, Narrows, Odd Otter, TF Brewing. So that's very confusing. So it says TF Brewing, and it links to a brewery from Salt Lake City. So I don't think it's that brewery. I think it's Task Force Brewing, which I think is in Lakewood. So I think they just linked the wrong thing.
Oh.
So I'm not positive. I almost want to send them a message, be like, I think that's the wrong brewery, but it might just be like a weird guest brewery. I don't know. But then you have Odd Otter, Tacoma Brewing. I put Odd Otter there twice. Tacoma Brewing and Northish Brewing. So it should be pretty good if you like hazy IPAs. At least 5 or 6 of those are gonna be worth trying. Well, and like I said, I've been digging some McMinimans. Narrows is pretty solid. They're hit or miss sometimes, but overall they make pretty good beer. The Ram, I haven't had the Ram beer for years. I don't have high hopes for the Ram, but I didn't have high hopes for McMinimans at first.
Hey, they got the invite.
Yeah. Okay,
Somehow.
then you have the Tukwila Artisanal Beer Fest is coming up. Oh, I didn't put the dates in there. Oh, because they don't know. Or they do. That's, because I put it down later. I'm stupid. August 17th is coming up. Tickets aren't set for sale.
That's Tumwaters.
Yeah, don't ignore that one. I typed it wrong because I'm dumb. Because I was dumb in typing and trying to do other things. Brew 5-3 is coming up in August 2019. They didn't have the dates yet on there. Seattle Beer Week is happening now and ending Sunday. There's all kinds of weird beer stuff going up in Seattle. I haven't messed with it that much yet. Washington Brewers Fest is June 14th through 16th. That's coming up that's Father's Day weekend typically. I imagine it's still the same. That's coming up pretty quickly. And the Tacoma Beer Week is in the end of August. So yeah, those are the upcoming events that I noticed. There's probably more. I know Silver City has a couple big beer releases coming up soon. They have a couple taproom only ones, and then one that looks like the glitter, the peach one, and there's another glitter one. They're not glitter beer, but like they're called glitter or something, like sun glitter or something like that. But this one has pineapple in it, which I'm excited about. Pineapple and beer is one of my favorite things right now.
They go well together.
Yeah,
Silver City, I feel like they're one of the top.
Dude, they're just so consistent. Like that's the one thing I always say about Silver City is that it's just goddamn consistent. There's some news worth noting, but yeah, it's just this. I've been talking for about 5 minutes, so you guys tell me about your week. What's been going on in your week and your life and whatnot? You got any plans for the weekend or the following weekends? Any hopes from beer? A fridge full of beer that you're like, I can't wait to drink this bad boy.
Well, yeah, I do have hopes for that. Honestly, my promotion at work's like,
yeah,
giving me more income, so I can afford to buy more beer now. So I'm pretty excited about jumping into all that.
There you go.
If you need
another
recommendations,
thing,
I can help you out.
Well, yeah,
or just look at our Instagram.
We
or just open Ricky's fridge.
Yeah, that's basically it.
Yeah.
But we've got a membership with the Washington Brewers Guild at work, so I get a free pass to go and check those out. So
that's cool.
I'm going to start checking out the Washington Brewers Guild meetings. I've already been in contact with somebody there, so I'm really excited to get that going.
Well, that sounds like I imagine you can find a home brewer there if you're looking to talk to one.
Oh yeah, I talked to my marketing guy too, and they're going to start getting into sponsoring podcasts.
I know, like,
coming up soon.
Brewers on Instagram. I don't know why I haven't thought about trying to reach out to any of them.
Yeah,
I'm so dumb. I'm the worst at this.
No. Yeah, anyway, I'm excited to be more like the actual industry around here, so that's going to be kind of fun.
Nice. Just been working and fishing.
Oh yeah, you've been fishing hard. What have you caught anything big?
No, I've caught, just been going for trout mainly, and just, we went up to like Lake Kitsap, and they always have, good sized trout. They got the omegas. What they do is, when they farm them, they put a little bubble of air in the egg, so it makes it where they can't reproduce, but they grow like 3 times the size. So like when they hit, like it's like getting hit by a salmon. Like your rod just whoa, down hard. You're like, whoa. I had a buddy from work. I talked him into going, and he almost lost his pull in the water because usually trout, it's just like, like slammed. He, don't go in the water pool. What was that?
That's hilarious.
So, and then just been rolling in the truck with the boat in the back. Haven't taken it out in about 2 weeks. So
the weather was so nice.
It was
a week and a half ago. And then this week is just like, they were like, yeah, just kidding. Remember what there's
it's like after Monday, it was just like, rain, Washington.
Yep.
Nothing like riding in the rain when you're like, I know it's sunny.
Yeah.
Dude, it's been
perfect
we've
weekend
had
to go camping.
such good weather, and then all of a sudden this rain. I'm like, please go away. I'm so ready for like normal summer weather again.
Yeah, it'll heat up though this month. I think.
Yeah,
it'll come back.
I imagine we're a couple days out, or even maybe a week out, and we'll be back to normal, or not normal, summer for Washington.
Yeah, and I also learned I can't troll with 2 poles at once. Because when I do my turns, like unless I want to like reel one pole in, when I turn, like it's tangled. Oh, so frustrating. Like spending like 20 minutes untangling this. Like,
I need to go out fishing with you. I haven't been fishing since fun. I was So was fishing as a kid. Terrible at it. My dad took us fishing, and I don't know if my dad knew how much. He knew how to fish as a kid, but then he took us, and I was like, I don't know if this is for me. But then when we were in Mexico, we did deep sea fishing, which was cool.
There you go.
Except we were in Mexico, so I was hungover. And we have to go at like 4 a.m, and you're just like,
oh, that's the worst.
And you're like, you can't sleep anywhere, so you're like, because it's just bouncing because it's out in the ocean.
Do not
it was
drink.
Cool.
Yeah, don't drink like the night before anything you fish.
You know, I wasn't even that hungover. Truthfully, it was just like it was just that we went to bed at like 2 a.m, and we're up at 4, and I was just like, I could barely keep my eyes open.
Well, you're all that motion in the ocean though. It's just gonna throw you off so much, and with the alcohol. Yeah, it's just such a bad recipe.
But then we did end up catching a swordfish, which was cool.
That's so badass. I want to do that one day
to get him to mount that bad boy. It was gonna be like to get it mounted and shipped home is gonna be like $1,000. But I was like,
do it.
I was like, when are you ever gonna do this again?
Yeah.
When are you ever gonna have this experience? And he was like, I don't know. And we're like, Dad, you've got to do this, and he just wouldn't do it. And I said 1,000. It's probably. I think if we would have shopped around, because it's Mexico. You find someone to do everything for a little bit cheaper than the next guy, and I think we could go for $600. But I mean, it was cool. We were able to chop up a fish and take it to the condo, and they cooked it for us. And
That's dope.
Crazy, yeah. So we ate swordfish that night. But
it's so awesome.
I wanted him to mount that thing so bad because it took all. It was my. I don't think it was both my sisters. I think it was just Mindy. I could be mistaken. My sister, but if my sisters listen to this, I'm sorry. I don't remember that well. But I think it was just Mindy, and my dad. And I think Mindy, like she caught it on the hook, and then she was going, and then she was like, I'm done. and my dad took over for a bit, and he's like, Ricky, you have to try. I was like, okay. And I was like, because you have to kind of reel back and then let it go out. And then because you're fighting it. Yeah. And we switched off like 3 times, and I was like, I can't do this anymore. My arm is shot. And then
you just like want to pull and then reel down and pull and reel down.
But then it was hilarious because it gets close, and the guys are like, all right, boom, it just bops on the head. And I was like, and it goes. And I was like, that's fishing, huh? I was like, that's all it takes. You just hit it. They have this little beater stick, and then a fish gets close, and they're like, and you just trail it behind you for a while, and I was like, I'm done with this. This is crazy, but that was an awesome experience because you see it out there too. It would be fighting, it would go out of the water and come back in. I was like,
that's so dope. Yeah, I'm excited for the salmon run to come through in the rivers. I got my pole all ready. I'm gonna go over a few things with my dad for river fishing because I've never done it. So when the salmon come through, watch out.
Is that when you go out with the gators and stuff like that, or the waders?
Yeah, with the waders, and you just walk in the middle, and usually you have like a jig or a light floater on top, and you're just so because I want to find out what I need to do and then save up for a drift boat.
What's a drift boat in comparison?
Drift boat
because you have like a little motorboat, right?
I got a 10-foot John boat.
Yeah.
So a drift boat, it's like a canoe, like shaped like Indian canoe. Where it's like kind of thin and then gets wide, and it kind of comes up. Like it kind of makes me think of like Zelda's boat almost a little.
I barely know that reference, but I think I know what you're talking about.
So yeah, you just sit in it. There's I think you can put like a kicker motor or something to help if you're crazy, but it's not meant to have a motor really because you just drift down the river, and you're just fishing for salmon, steelhead. So
could you just do that on a floaty raft then?
You could, but it's a lot more stable. So that way, like,
it actually catches,
like
just
it can, like,
no.
Like you can sit down in the rough rapids and just float on through. A little floating might be a little dangerous.
Yeah.
But no, so I'm really excited for the salmon fishing this year. I'm gonna get my dad out a lot more, especially since half the kids can go now.
Oh, that's true. That'll help a lot.
Arthur's the only one that needs to be watched, so. I can maybe like pawn it off. My sister be like, hey, if I catch something, I'll give you like a thing.
Yeah. I was like, I will pay you in salmon.
Yes.
But it's a risk because I may not catch any
and
salmon.
Then me and my dad, we're going to go half seas on a shrimp pod soon.
Okay.
So that way we can go like because there's only certain days shrimp's open. It's not like year round or certain days like crabbing.
It's like 2 days. It's like 2 days,
like a
right?
few days
This shit just happened, right?
Yeah, like one
I
just
talked
happened.
to somebody who just did it, and they were like, man, it was packed.
Yeah,
I had a buddy, he caught, because it's like 60 or something shrimp per person limit.
I was going to say limited the hell out of it, right? Because it's been over shrimped.
Because like they went and it was like.
That's not a thing.
That's got to be the right term.
Over shrimping?
His family, they caught just over 300 shrimp.
Jesus.
So, yeah, it's crazy. But I want to go do a lot more crabbing this year, too.
Is there anywhere around here you could get fresh crawdads that I don't have to go to Dragon Crawfish? Not that I don't love Dragon Crawfish, but if I could go get my own crawdads, problem solved.
Well, yeah, you can. It's like less than $10 for a crawdad trap.
What?
Yeah,
That's all
it's
costs.
like $7 or $8.
Where do you get crawdads at from?
Because aren't they around the beaches and stuff? I haven't looked it up. I want to. I just haven't because I'm just like, God, the traps are so cheap.
Crawdads are so much better than shrimp. Shrimp are a nightmare to clean. Crawdads, you just pop the head off, eat those bad boys, and you're good to go.
Yeah, so
that's like if you go to Dragon Crawfish, that's the secret right there.
Yeah,
fuck the shrimp. Get the crawdads. Shrimp is way too much work, and there's a giant poo vein in there that you don't want to deal with. Crawdads, pop that bad boy off, eat the tail, you're good to go.
Yeah, it's good stuff. But yeah, the traps, like you go to like Bass Pro, it's like $7 or $8, I think, for the trap.
Damn,
and you get the
crawdad. And for like a shrimping gig, like the lowest is like probably $75.
Well, and it's a bunch of people doing it too. It doesn't seem like it's really worth it. I mean, it's still worth it, obviously. Yeah. If you walk away with 60 shrimp, that's a lot of shrimp.
Yeah, it's a lot of shrimp. But I don't, because with crabbing,
that's also a lot of work, though.
You know, you can like set the pot, you know, at like, 100 feet or something, and then go do your salmon fishing and trolling, and then come back hours later and get your crab. So I'm going to be doing that a lot this year.
Nice. Well, that's cool. Where do you guys, you do that up by, what beach do you at? Just anyone, I guess, right?
Yeah, throughout the sound, there's
they have
different
like
areas, throughout the whole, like you could fish for salmon the whole year if you want to travel throughout Washington, because they start out like by Port Angeles and they work their way all the way around and into the river systems, and then they, later in the year they start coming through our systems.
Gotcha.
So the summertime is when it's like kind of Puget Sound rivers areas. So, and then, they always have, because there's different types of salmon, like you got like blackmouth, and you can do like blackmouth in like the winter. Yeah, steelhead are real, people love going after steelhead. Yeah, they are a salmon. They love going after them. But I want to go after like Chinook and kings and pinks and silvers and all that good stuff.
The only thing I know about fishing is that my buddy went up to Alaska. No, I don't know where he went. He went somewhere. I said Alaska, and I realized that's 100% wrong. He went somewhere and came back with walleye. And I tried walleye, and I was like, this is my favorite fish ever. It's so good. That and halibut, I eat both of those all day long.
Yeah, but halibut, I paid the $15 extra to get the license, and they're opening up in like a week or two, I think, for halibut.
Is there good halibut fishing around here?
Up north, there is in the Sound. Like, probably like 45 minutes past Seattle. Out in that Bay Area, there's good halibut.
Nice.
So
I would eat me some halibut.
Dude, halibut's.
I've never done it before. I'm excited.
As good as halibut is, walleye's better. It's like the better version of halibut, which is amazing to say.
You guys had rockfish or Chilean sea bass?
I've had
sea bass. Sea bass are fun to catch, man. Just sitting there jigging because you want to get up like towards the shore where all like the pedals are, and then you just sit there and you jig, and then when they hit, dude, they're a good fight.
Nice.
Woo, they're good, except for the thing is when you get them in the water, they have like real thick spikes on their fins, and if it stabs you, it's like it makes a bee sting look like a walk in a park.
Yeah.
Like my dad, when we were young, I caught one, and he was cleaning and he got it out, and before he was gonna kill it, it flopped because they're real hard. So like you gotta like beat it a few times.
You beat it hard. It's not just one time. You're just hitting it over and over again.
Just die, you son of a! And so it stung him, and like it hurt the whole night. He was like, "I just want to chop my hand off right now, just to make the pain go away."
Yeah.
Does it have like venom or something on it? Like
it must have.
I'm sure it has something in it, but it's just when it it stings you. It's just your whole hand just swells like a mofo.
Yeah. So there must be something in
like,
it.
Wear gloves if you go
No
for
kidding.
it.
Or not fish for those. Just skip those things.
I'll just eat them.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll just eat
good
them when
at
someone
eating
else
the
gets
fish.
them. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. And then this is not at all related to beer, but you and I have been playing a shit ton of Division.
Hell yeah.
Division 2 is the shit.
That game
It's
is
so
fun,
good.
man.
I love it. And it basically stole Destiny 2's lunch because Destiny 2 screwed over everyone, and now we're playing Division 2, and it's like I haven't even I put a ton of hours in, but I'm honestly contemplating grabbing that $40 season or first year pass just because I'm having so much fun. And the second part of the game is nuts.
Yeah, I can't believe you didn't even know that was
Dude,
coming. I didn't know it was coming either, but I thought for sure that you knew. I thought
Well,
I was way behind you, and then you were like, "Oh, I haven't finished the main story."
The problem is I get distracted by side missions so easily, so I just kept going in and doing bounties, and then all of a sudden you're like, "You got to finish the story." I was like, "Okay," and then it finished, and I was like, "What is this game?" I was like, "There's a whole other game here." It's like it basically did the exact same thing that Destiny does. It did light level, but it did it better because now I actually want to play it. Versus unlike Destiny, where I was like, I hate this game right now, but mostly because I screwed us over. So that's our little video game corner. Actually, I will lead off of that. I've been contemplating the idea because I want to do more kind of content, just any kind of content for this. I've been contemplating streaming, but man, I'm so bad at streaming. But contemplating streaming for the podcast, basically. That's why I bought this actual camera stand.
What do you
so
mean?
I can set up
Streaming for the podcast?
just playing games for an hour, but start off by talking 15 minutes instead of doing like a mini cast because I got kind of tired of doing mini casts. I don't like talking by myself. It's not much fun for me. I could do it for a little while, but I'm like, what am I doing?
It's hard. There's a certain amount of like talent you have to have to be able to listen to yourself talk.
Dude, I just feel so douchey doing it. I'm like, so this is what I'm doing today. I'm like, fuck, I'm not a vlogger. That's not for me. But I figure if I'm like, I could get up, I could play for an hour, but before that, take like 10 minutes, drink a beer, talk about what's been going on in the beer world with me, play video games for 45 minutes. I've been thinking about it. We'll see. I don't know because I'm just so bad at streaming because when I play games, I just zone out and say bunch of bad swears or I say nothing at all. It's like
or what you do say is just swear words.
Yeah, it's just awful swearing, calling people cocks and stuff like that nonstop. And then I just sit there and go, then nothing with my tongue slightly out as I'm shooting people. That's all it is. So that's why
a seizure.
Yeah, that's why I don't stream anymore because I was like, oh, I'm terrible at this. Unlike some people, and if someone comes into the chat and I'm like, oh, welcome. Oh, they left. Never mind. It's cool. I'm gonna go back to the game. So I'm thinking about it. We'll see.
We could always do like a stream cast. Just bring some more beers.
Yeah, I think we could do something like that too for sure. Because we play those stupid games all the time on the multiplayer games. Like
some Norwell.
Yeah, nobody gets to see that. Like our post-podcast tradition is just busting out some multiplayer,
some crazy games. Yeah.
They've been pretty good too. That last one was pretty badass.
That'd be easy enough to set up for a stream for that too. And so that kind of stuff is just to give us alternatives when we were like, because we do podcasts once every 2 to 3 weeks right now. If we get on that kind of schedule, but then every once in a while, it's like, just need something else to do. Just want to add more content somehow. So
yeah.
I don't know. I'm contemplating on that. Well, and let's jump into the kind of the noteworthy news. I'll keep it shortish.
Noteworthy news.
First and foremost, the thing that's my most excited is that
we should make Ryan do that intro.
Just do the voice. He just does the bold point intro.
Yeah.
Boom.
You get the point.
Events.
Getting organized.
So we're about to round 600 people on Instagram. Took a long time to get there.
Hello, 600 people.
You should do a reward for 1,000.
I want to do a giveaway, but
that is what I
was. I want to wait till we get closer to 1,000 to make that announcement. But I am planning to do a small giveaway on some local beers when we hit. And I might do it early because truthfully, if you do it early, you'll get a boost because you're like and subscribe to my page, and then to our page, and then I'll send out beer at the end of the week, and you get a nice little jump there. So I'm contemplating it. We'll see. But that's our news. That's a cool point. That kind of covers all of our news.
That's so awesome. Because last time we were announcing 500, weren't we?
Well, man, I've been Instagramming hard this week, and there's a game to Instagram I didn't understand for a long time. I was going through my old posts. I went back to my first one, which was in 2012 on Instagram, and it was the second post was a beer post, and I was like, this was destiny. We called it from 2012. But even back then, like I was going through like some of those things, and I was like 5 likes, 2 likes, 8 likes. I was like, man. I have one that the golden calculator for Wonder Bring was 100 and some change likes. I was like, all right, we gotta keep pushing this. And there's a weird game to Instagram that I'm starting to learn, but it's a lot of work. It's a lot more work than I thought it was gonna be. But there's a certain point where you hit that you don't have to work as hard, and it kind of does it for you. But it takes a while to get to that point. We're getting close. I think when you hit about 700 to 800, you don't have to find people, they just find you at that point.
Nice.
But that's a ways away.
Word of mouth, people. Word of mouth.
Go tell all your friends. We make cool podcasts and talk about Instagram.
And soon you'll see us play video games.
Yes, one day you'll see me poorly play video games while I'm drinking and trying to talk to you guys at the same time. Okay, so some other newsworthy note. Untapped had a beer fest and it apparently sucked. Is this the Fire Fest of Beer Fest? Maybe, I don't know. But there's a lot of mixed reviews about it. I read about it on Instagram and a couple other places, but basically they did this beer fest. It was too big. The weather acted up. A lot of people had to wait outside. There was a bad miscommunication, and it was just too big of a beer fest for... It sounded like a nightmare. It's one of those beer fests that's like 10,000 people or something. It's at a stadium, and you're just like, what are you doing? That sounds like a nightmare. Like the one up in Marymore, I could go maybe... The only one I could imagine I would go to that might be bigger than that is the Portland version of that, the Portland or the Oregon Brewers Fest. I don't think I'd go bigger than that, but I've heard a lot of those kind of beer fests that go huge and it just sucks. You're like, I've had 2 beers all day because I had to stand in 40-minute lines and stuff like that. So that was Untapped's first brew fest. They kind of dropped the ball. I don't know if it's as bad as saying it's a Fire Fest, because the Fire Fest was a nightmare if you've seen either of those documentaries.
Oh yeah, I saw it on Netflix. That was insane.
There's the Netflix one and the Hulu one. I think one of them is basically brought to you by the people who put on the Fire Fest, and one is brought to you by a guy who got fired by the people who put on the Fire Fest.
I know the one on Netflix, everybody was hating on everything.
You have to watch the Hulu one because they actually interviewed the guy, Billy or whatever.
Oh, really?
Dude,
I don't have Hulu
crazy.
anymore.
Crazy.
It was crazy. Like at the end, like after it got shut down and everything, he was like still going off the list,
Dude.
like on trial, still trying to rip people off.
That guy's a
And he was
monster.
like getting hits too. That was like the crazy part.
Yeah,
like,
he did a whole nother scam. He did a completely different scam after. It's
just
insane.
using like at least 20 people from that list.
Dude.
Like, yeah,
that was bananas. That guy's insane.
Yeah.
That guy deserves every bit of jail time he gets because he is nuts.
Because didn't they pay
Boatloads.
Kyler Jenner like $100,000 just to make their post of the video they made, and that just like blew it the heck up.
It was all kinds. There was this crazy Ponzi scheme of them like taking money that they didn't have and shifting around and making promises. It was nuts.
Yeah,
it was nuts. That was one of those documentaries. I was like, I'm not gonna watch this. And then Amanda put it on, and I was like, I'm enthralled by this.
I know. I watched for 10 seconds. And I was like, thank God I clicked on this.
Yeah. It's one of those ones you throw out there, and you're like, I'm so glad I'm watching this because this is the best.
It just sucks you in.
That
poor town though,
dude. They messed up that whole area. It sucks so bad.
That one guy like fought for them, and he had to like move.
It sucked. All of it.
Yeah,
because
everybody
was the worst.
Because this one guy like was like, yeah, no, they're gonna make money. They're gonna do this, and then the town got fucked over, and everybody came after this guy for this money. He's like,
I don't have the money. I'm gonna get on out.
Yeah.
Next news: Dogfish Head and Sam Adams joined forces to become one of the biggest craft breweries companies in the world.
Some billions of dollars.
Dude, it's crazy.
That's wild.
Yeah, it would be like if Elysian and I don't even know.
Stone. Stone's pretty huge, right?
Yeah. If Elysian and Stone got together, it's not even the same. It's like, what's the biggest brewery in Washington? I think we saw that list. It had to be Elysian or Silver City or something. It was one of those ones. It'd be like Elysian and Silver City getting together. And they're like, hey, we're going to kind of work together now. And you're like, what does that mean? They're like, don't worry about it. we're worth a bazillion dollars. Like, okay. But it's like Sam Adams is one of those companies that's like they were like the original craft brewery when it comes down to it. They've been around forever. They were making beer differently, and back in the day, they became famous because of that. And then I think people kind of poo-poo on them because they're a big brewery. But they're not like ABV. They're not like not Rainier, but like Budweiser or Coors. They're completely different. They put time into their beer. The guy seems genuine. He's been there forever, and now the same thing's happening with Dogfish. And the rumor is that nothing's going to change with Dogfish, but it probably gives them a lot more assets, so they could make bigger batches of some of their like more popular beers, which is crazy. It's nuts. It's two of the biggest breweries coming together and be like, hey guys, we're all cool now. We're like, what does this mean? What does this mean for craft brew? This is completely different. I think, and this is my fear, is that they're going to start buying up smaller breweries, which is, I mean, it's smart to keep them out of the hands of like
Budweiser
ABV, all the big distributors.
Yeah,
but they're going to become
because Summer Shandy, I think, got bought out by Budweiser years ago.
Yeah, all those.
Like, I loved it, and they got bought out, and then it's like, oh, it's everywhere now. This is kind of great, but...
Like, Lagunitas is a great example of that. One that got bought out, and everyone bitched about it, but it's like, it's not hurt anything yet, but there's going to be a point where one day they're like, we only sell these 4 beers, and we're like, oh, Lagunitas, why'd you get bought out? So, like, it'll be interesting if they buy out breweries that are kind of on the radar, and they're like, we have the money to buy these breweries, but we literally want you to be hands off. We want you to do what you're doing, but with more money. Yeah. We have money to provide. It'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see what happens. I think they're going to become a distributor, honestly, at some point. I think that's the move, is become a distributor. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of Brewdog Brewing. It's an Australian brewery. I've seen them a bunch on Instagram. Apparently, the dude who owns or runs Brewdog is kind of an asshole. He got a bunch of people to do marketing stuff for him, and then he bullied them into not paying them, basically. I don't know. I read about it on Instagram. I was like, what? This guy sounds like a D-bag.
Was it because it was like social media, like digital marketing kind of thing, where he paid like influencers or quote unquote did not pay influencers? He
got the ideas. It said, I'm going to use these, or he said, we're not going to pay you, and then he used the ideas. This guy. Yeah, he's kind of a D-bag. But you know, it is what it is. I don't know much about it. I don't imagine myself ever trying Brewdog. I've seen their beer. They're probably fine. It's probably just a dude who's too emotional, attached, and not know how to use social media. And they're playing a very dangerous game. I mean, we have a friend who kind of works in that world, marketing, Eric. He does that kind of stuff where like he has to give ideas to them and be like, this is what I think you should do. And at some point they could go, we're not going to hire you, but then they could use that idea. That's how that kind of works. But there's a fine line there where if you keep like getting ideas but never use them, there's legal action there. I don't know exactly what it is, but there is some legal action there. But yeah, it's a crazy world. And then the last thing newsworthy is I was going to talk about Washington Brewerfest brewery list has been released. I actually wanted to see if Northish is on here, but it doesn't look like they are. I see Triceratops. I'm excited about that. That's blew a spit bubble. No big deal. Is there any... Oh, Wander's going to be there. Oh, snaps. Wander Brewing's going to be there. I'm excited about that. We don't have any Wander beer, but I've actually seen them at the Brewfest before, so I'm excited about that. Is there any brewery you guys are looking for in Washington?
Oh, man. Who put out that delicious, delicious raspberry scone beer? Was that
Top Rung?
Top Rung, yep.
They're going to be there.
Oh, I'm sure.
1 second.
I'm not going to be there. I'm still a little salty about that.
Holy cow. Top Rung's not going to be there. No, that's crazy. Top Rung's not there.
Top Rung. Say it ain't so.
That's interesting. I see Lowercase. I'm a big fan of Lowercase. Heavy Metal Brewing down in Vancouver. Never heard of them, but that sounds cool.
No Lie could be there.
No Lie's going to be there. Yep. No Lie's there. Yeah, I mean, there's gonna be. It's always worth if you can make it there. It's a great brew fest. I do think now my favorite brew fest is the Tacoma Dome one, the Winter Brew Fest. Excuse me. But this one brings together the most Washington breweries that I can think of. Fremont, I imagine, to me, they're such a huge. Holy crap! Why don't I see Fremont on there? Is Fremont not gonna be there?
No.
That can't be. That doesn't make any sense.
This is
This can't be.
Still
This can't be.
editable.
Yeah, this can't be
Not a
final.
final version.
There's no way this is final. This is a lot of breweries, but there's no way this is final. Fremont's not on there. That would be bananas if Fremont isn't there. That'd be such a big empty hole there, because that's the brewery everyone goes so they can try.
That's where the line is.
Yeah, if there's a line, it's for Fremont. That'd be nuts. I can't imagine. Oh, I see it. Okay, thank God. Oh. All right, now you could go to the Brewfest and be happy.
The heart attack has ended.
Yeah, I was like, I just missed it. But yeah, there's a lot of good beer there again. Okay, well, we've done our beer. What do you guys think was your favorite beer tonight? Just out of curiosity.
I'm going with the Nordic. It's my favorite.
I don't know, man. That was a toss-up between that and the Big Mother.
I just felt like the Nordic was a little bit more smoother. I know it's a higher content for the Mother.
Would you say it's more crushable? That's an Instagram thing too.
Yeah.
People were like, "This is definitely a crushable beer." I was like, "That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard."
But
I won't put that part on Instagram.
Sticking with my Rubens.
Yeah.
Well, you work by Rubens too.
Yeah.
You need to start going to Rubens more often.
I do.
I need to go meet a buddy up there again. A friend from Instagram.
Could walk to Rubens from my shop.
Well, you could almost walk. If you could walk to Rubens, you can walk to Eric and Amber's then too. You're not too far away from them.
Yeah, I texted him and he said he's just over the bridge. So
Yeah.
I was like, I tried to hang out with him last week, but he couldn't. I was like, all right.
He gets busy in pockets where it's like because it depends on especially right now you have all the big shows coming up in the next 3 months,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
3 to 4 months. So he's gonna be crazy busy, and then he's busy the rest of the time also. But he's gonna be crazy busy the next 3 to 4 months.
I will
He's
find
got
Friday
PAX,
to hang
E3.
Yeah.
I know there's more shows. That's the only I can think of right now. Okay. Well, is there any final words as we go through the end of the podcast, round the corner, calling it good?
I've got nothing.
You got nothing? Oh, I was going to say one more final thing. I'm finally trying to go over my beer FOMO, if that makes sense to you guys. I've tried. It's not easy, but I'm getting closer, where I've stopped following Treehouse and Other Half Brewing and all those places. I've stopped following them so I don't have to look at it and be like, I want that beer so badly. I'm trying to cut back on trades. It's a tough one, but trades are expensive, and I've been trying to drink more Washington beer again. So I'm coming back to the Pacific Northwest, guys. Get ready. I'm going to drink all the beer.
Keep it local.
Drink local. Right? Do you have any final words before we go?
I'm just going to do some fishing and drink beer.
Nice.
Rock on.
It's going to be a great summer of fishing, beer. We'll try to visit. We'll pick a day this week to try to visit E9. And I'm hanging out with Seth on June 1st. That'd be about 2 weeks from now. I might see if he wants to do a mini cast real quick.
Nice. We will be planning a camping trip.
A Brewfest camp.
I'm pushing that hard.
Podcast camp trip.
You know I'm in.
All right. Well, since that seems about it, and now we're rambling and we're at the end of this thing, let's call it good. We've had some great beer. We've had some great talks. Let's call it a night, guys.
Peace.
Cheers, and see you all next time.
Do, do, do.